It actually has sensors that measure vibrations in a live honeybee colony, on the honeycomb of a honeybee colony. So it can actually measure the activity and the sounds, if you like, that the bees produce inside of a colony. And then there's a live Wi-Fi link to the hive where these sounds and vibrations inside of the hive are translated into a soundscape that you can hear around us now in the hive. The soundtrack reflects the activity of the actual beehive. At the same time also there are 1,000 LEDs in this structure, and the intensity and activity of the glow of these LEDs also reflects the activity in the beehive. So if you're standing here, you actually get a good sense of the activity of a live beehive, and you feel connected to what's going on inside of a bee colony. If a bee gets hit by a drop of rain and its wings and its hairs get wet, then that really increases its body weight and it cools it down, and it will make it more difficult for it to fly. And you will often, in rainy weather, you will often see bees that have gotten stuck on a flower, and if they've gotten wet and cold, they can't fly off anymore. And if they don't warm up, eventually they might actually die in that case. What a lot of people are not aware of, but what we're also trying to emphasize here at Kew with the hive and our interpretation that we're doing around the hive, is that the honeybee in the UK is just a single species, but actually there are over 250 additional species of bees in the UK, and most of these are called solitary bees. I might not do this now. Usually I'm giving talks in the plant family beds around now, but I turned around the sign that advertised. In this nesting chamber, she will deposit pollen first, and then she will lay an egg on top. She will close up the nesting chamber with special materials she is collecting and leave, and then the larva inside, the young bee, will develop all on her own. It's just like us taking antibiotics, perhaps, that some of these plant compounds actually reduce the severity of diseases in bees. It could also be that in some cases compounds that the bees collect could have an impact on the hygiene in the hive. So it's known in honeybees that, for example, honeybees collect propolis, which is often the resin of trees, and that can have antiseptic properties. So if you did want to get any of your veg for the weekly, we're isolating those compounds, and then we can use those substances to conduct experiments in the lab. So we actually raise our own colonies of bumblebees. So at the moment our research really focuses on bumblebees, which are very important pollinators in the UK as well and worldwide. And we maintain live colonies of bumblebees in the lab, and we can feed them with the compounds that we're interested in. And at the same time, we can also infect them with known diseases that are problems to bees. And then we can test whether these compounds might actually reduce the severity or infectiousness of these diseases in bees.
It's